I am so proud of you because
Thank you.
if you don't know, Tyler Pope has been a staple in the film community for such a long time. And he's helped out on everybody's film for how many years? Like 8 years? Like
About 7 years, yeah.
7 years, and he's everywhere helping people out.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you're finally doing your films.
Yes.
Winds of nature call towards what I presume a forest.
So this story was personal to you, right?
Yes, it was.
I'm getting closer. Is that uncomfortable?
No, not at all, Vince.
What was your favorite part of making this film? Did you film it yourself on a tripod?
Yes, I did. I filmed it on a tripod in a 35 milliliter.
Well, we do drink wine on set.
I mean, that's true. And beer.
And beer.
You know, I never thought that would be a word in my vocabulary. Can follow in my footsteps and find their lonely white rose.
You edit yourself.
Yes, I actually edited that on my cell phone.
What?
Yeah, I edited that all on my cell phone.
Wow.
Because I couldn't find an editor.
Really? But you
Yeah.
have a lot of experience editing and filming as well.
Yes.
I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I hope you make more, because I've known you
Yes.
for a long time, and I've worked with you forever, and I always push you to make films.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people.
A lot
And
of people do.
This is it. It's time to take that leap. Go for it. And here it goes.
Is you had something to say, and for me it was poetry. It was something that comes from the heart. It was personal. It was intimate.
Yes.
Did you feel vulnerable sharing this intimate film?
I did, actually. I really did. Because it was in... I thought it would be the best time now because I was in a place working for 7 years in film. I started Coca-Cola when I started filmmaking. So now I've actually gotten a new job, and I've actually like what I do now.
Yeah.
This is finally my time.
No. So, this is, you're new to Ottawa.
Yes.
I'm filming you. Is it awkward? We're gonna get really close here.
Right.
Hold on.
Can we even see it?
We could see, it's a widescreen. So, you come from Toronto? Toronto. It's okay, we still like you.
Toronto people. After being locked down like we all were for 2 years, that I need my life back. So I went to one of your events and I met some lovely people, and that's what happens when you want to meet lovely people in the film industry, right?
You're right, and actors want to practice their craft.
Actors want to practice
Yeah.
their craft.
It was my idea. Oh, I
You
guess
don't
I
need a
don't.
microphone.
He doesn't need.
I really don't need a microphone. It was my idea. I wanted to tell a story where something that is usually seen as a very negative thing by a lot of people. I wanted to tell the story of a woman who was suffering so much and had no support network and had to make a very courageous decision that other people may not see the same way. And I wanted to have the story be a beautiful one. And I think Catherine did an awesome job bringing that to life to show the pain and the beauty in that kind of situation. So thank you very, very much.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, you had to edit that out and add some music to make
right,
because
that's right.
you could not take the children's voices out of the bathroom scene.
It was the washroom in our lobby, and kids were playing in the room. Are you done yet? They're banging on the door. I'm like, we're trying to film something. Shut up.
So sometimes location can be the most challenging thing to overcome, but with creativity, you can still make it work. Every time I do one, I learn something new that I try to bring into the next thing I make. And then, so I'm hoping that everything will just grow and move forward, because I can't compete with everybody else and the qualifications and skills and the knowledge they have, but I can keep trying to outdo myself. And so that's my personal goal.
What was your favorite part? And it's okay to say me.
I think outside at the cemetery, because I was in nature, so I felt like I could connect more with what I was trying to reveal, because it was in nature, and I think nature's so inspiring. So when I was sitting, looking up at the trees, I really felt really in the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that
My idea was to have an actress play mom, and I didn't have one. So I didn't want to be mom because I thought that might make it too silly. So I ended up playing, you know, in my head, her father or somebody else that was there. And so I didn't want any dialogue at all. But I had to put in some dialogue just to explain that she was expecting her mother, and that wasn't really the way it worked out, but her mother was still waiting for her. So I still wanted that kind of ending, but thank you very much for noticing.
I was expecting Mom.
I know. She's waiting for us. I don't really know the what may or may not be proper in that respect, you know. I'm sure that technically, legally, one should have, what is it, what do they call those things, you know, wherever you're filming in the city?
A permit.
A permit. And don't we all just follow that to the letter of the law?
But that's a good question because I filmed a lot in cemeteries, and it takes, you respect the location. And you're not setting up with sound, you're setting up with a photo camera as though you're taking pictures, and you're quick and discreet, and you respect the place you are at.
Yeah, we did not go trampling around anything, we didn't disturb anything. We wanted the piece to remain peaceful.
Good question.
And if, you know what,
That was a good question.
and if I were dead, I would want people to film near my grave,
I
right?
want them to dig me up and put me in the movie.
I will quote you.
I would never look thinner.
Yeah.
But I really admire how you encourage everyone to just do it, let's get out there and write something and make something. And you're just so easy going and comforting, and I mean, I think you just have to do it, right? That's what, like you were saying, just do it. And I
Just
think
do
it's
it.
just great.
Wait,
And you,
that's somebody else's catchphrase.
if you're creative, you know, use it. Like, use your creativity, whether it's acting, directing, writing, just do something, start, and don't be afraid like me. Like, acting's okay, but like for me, I kind of want to write and create something too. Yeah, yes.
Yes.
But I'm like afraid, but I think he's sort of, you know, working on me in a subtle way to, you know, maybe I can write something.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Yep.
And find some people too, you know. Yeah, so I encourage
Absolutely.
you, because I'm thinking about it too, so.
And this is the venue where you'll find support and to screen it and feel like a movie star for
Yeah.
one night. And it's great. And look how many people are here. They're listening to
This
us.
is incredible. This
They're
is
listening
really
to you. What? You know what? It's so weird because it's the first time we meet, and the honor's yours, clearly. And so the thing is you see someone on a film, and there's the disconnect where you're like, oh wow, you're on a film, and then you meet them in person. And I still get starstruck. I'm just like, dude, you're like a movie star right now. And I'm like, what?
I'm embarrassed, okay? I'm embarrassed to ask you.
First of all, don't call me babe. And secondly, you should be asking about our son. You remember our son?
I love the domestic conflict, the drama of it. Is something that you went through personally?
Not really personally, but like in my high school days, my college days, I've seen friends going through like breakups, and I'm like, you know what, let me just write poetry. And then literally it was like poetry, and I turned it into like, you know, like a little short film basically.
Oh, I love it. And both films have both people, and the roles were kind of reversed. Because the first one,
Yeah, How to Love Me Again?
she ended things.
Yes.
And the second one, you ended things.
Exactly, she left me for a boss.
love.
Tina.
I can't.
I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Tyson.
Please, Blake. I know my son's name.
I love, that's like a series, if you think about it.
That's what we're trying to do.
The conversations from a relationship.
Absolutely.
And I love it. Are you gonna do more?
Oh, yes. We will.
Definitely.
Okay, so what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was You Left Us, her leaving me for a boss, because usually it's the opposite. The guy usually leaves the woman for like the woman, so I wanted to like, because men too, we have pain when, you know, when she leaves us, so I wanted to show that, and that's my favorite part.
You left us for your boss. Now you coming here asking me for what? What do you want?
I deserve that, okay? I do.
I like the plates part because it's really true. Like, it infuriates me. Like, whenever my boyfriend is like the plates off the table, it's really true. And if it builds up, it can really end things. Like, it really can, right? So,
Ken! Can't even take the plates? Come on, man.
just treat your respective, your partner well and have communication. And I think that's the overall message. Communicate and be honest and help each other because you're in this together. You're not against each other. So.
Yeah. It seems to end abruptly, but does it really? Because in real life, there is no closure for things that deal with the heart and relationships. And I think, it just ends like that. And the viewer is left with a lack of closure, like in real life. And was that intentional?
Not intentional, but that's the whole point. Like, it's in real life, we never really have a closure. So like she was saying, communication is key. Personally, in my life, that's something like I'm working on with like my fiance and my family and friends. I think you leave people in the open if you don't communicate. Yeah. So it's always like, there's no closure if you don't do that. So that's why we're doing those films. Like, we really want people to pay attention to details, the plates, her leaving me for a boss, for money, and I'm doing 3 jobs. All those little things that, we're always so selfish and think about our partners, like hard work and dedication to make us happy. So
I'll get out of your life.
It was always about money. 3 jobs. I had 3 jobs for this family.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much.
I love it. And I'm just not going to break eye contact and make it awkward. I love it.
Hi, Ottawa. My name is Tia James. I am the writer and the director for Destitute. I wrote Destitute as a testament to what happens when the Wi-Fi goes down, when you have to start talking to your peers and the people around you and playing outside like we used to back in the day.
We're not gonna make it.
Nonsense. We will prevail.
Thank you, Ottawa Kino, for inviting us to be a part of your festival. My name is Rob Toti, and I'm the writer and director of The Glass. My friend Armando de Avila, who lives in El Paso, Texas, he's a professor and a writer. He was sitting in a cafe, grading papers on his laptop and drinking some complimentary water, when this guy comes up to his table, picks up his glass, which isn't quite empty, smiles at him, and walks off with the glass. And he was heading over to the water station, so Armando just figured, oh, he's getting me a refill. How nice of him. So he watched the guy refill the glass, and then instead of him bringing the glass back to Armando, he went back to his own table and started drinking from Armando's glass. Bizarre, right? I thought so too. So I had to ask him, I was like, well, what did you do? Did you go and ask him why he did it? Did you confront him or anything? And Armando goes, no, I just kind of let it go. But I couldn't let it go, so I thought it was just so weird and bizarre that it'd make a great little short film. So as I was constructing the ideas behind this film, I was trying to look at it from different perspectives, make it a multiple perspective piece, and that's what I came up with for the film. Because everybody's got a reason for doing things. I just had to find out what was the reason for this guy doing this thing. Why would he do something so bizarre? But if you look at it from their perspective, maybe it's a little different. So I took the one event and just took it from 2 different perspectives. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on, probably for longer than the actual film is, and enjoy the rest of the festival.
We always encourage anybody new to step in and give it a shot. So here's my one of my main actors in the film, Ethan.
You guys suck! Leave it.
The one big guy that was talking along with him was my own son. And he's been voluntold many times that he was going to be in one of my films. In need of an actor. Ethan actually has been in a couple, but no dialogue. So this was his first dialogue film.
Everything but your game's gonna be enhanced. Come on, man, let's just go.
I'm listening. It was also hard not to laugh, because people when you're looking at someone and they're trying to keep a straight face, it's pretty hard. But overall, it was pretty fun.
It's legit, man. Just got signed. Sure you did. Where? By the Yankees. Yeah, the Yanks.
Seriously, Coop? I could get signed by the Cubs, man.
trying to get 5 16-year-olds to sit down, shut up, and read your bloody lines without laughing and being goofy. But in the end, we pulled it together, and I love that even the other 2 boys had never acted in anything before, so it gave them an experience. And Vincent, as always, makes everybody calm and relaxed on set, and just...
It's called alcohol on set.
And in this case, there was a lot.
There was a lot after, when we edited together.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a firm believer, because anyone can be an actor. You don't have... You just be yourself, because everyone reacts naturally to things. Just bring that inside you. Create a safe space where you can bring that out.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer acting. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are you nervous? There's a lot of people here judging you, watching you. Was it interesting seeing the final product? Because you were there during the filming, right? Well, you were kind of there. I don't know.
So basically, in like my opinion, I think you guys did a
Bring
great...
the mic closer to your mouth.
Sorry.
They can hear every nuance
You
of your
guys did a
voice.
really good job with the editing, because like when we were making the movie or the film, it was pretty like slow paced, I guess, because like we were like trying not to laugh, and it just took a while. But like, and then like how you film the parts like not in order, and then seeing it come together was like pretty cool.
That's very true, isn't it? Does it encourage you to make films?
I guess.
Like for YouTube?
Good practice, Coop.
Hey, man.
You know, I watch these boys grow up and go through hockey and baseball and sports, and not just guys, but girls too. And it seems like in our world today, there's extra pressure to be bigger, stronger, faster, better than somebody else all the time. These kids are almost pushed to a point where they're not allowed to enjoy the sport that they're involved in anymore, because, you know, it's the next scout watching or the next level, and you got to play at a higher level all the time. So and so some guys do fall into the trap of steroids and what can I do to make myself bigger, better, faster, stronger. So I think it was important for these young kids to sort of get an idea that you don't have to do that, but you do have to work hard yourself if you want to achieve those goals.
It's a done deal with these babies. They'll take you where you want to go. I can even spot you a few right now if you want to try them.
And we love working together because she comes to my place and we edit and we drink white wine.
Well, let me tell you a story that you don't even know yet. So my husband dropped me off at his place so we could edit. And then he went to do an errand, and then I didn't know this, but he came back and sat outside of his apartment for 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours. What? But he saw so much. He saw neighbors on the balcony having sex.
Bank Street.
He saw 2 people so drunk they couldn't walk, but they got in their car and drove, so that was better. And then he saw some group of kids smoking a bong, like from the ground, and like that. I never seen one so big in my life. That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what she did not say.
So yeah, he was there, and what a good man to wait for him. I'm like, you could have texted me and come in. He's like, no, I didn't want to interrupt.
No,
So-
no.
Besides, he was watching the porno live outside. So. No, but seriously, I mean, you do have to have patience, especially if they haven't acted before. And don't put your expectations high. Keep your expectations to a minimal and work with them, teach them, coach them on set. Let them know what it is you want from them. And they'll work with you, especially if they want to be there.
Absolutely.
They'll work
Low
with you.
expectations is what I look for in my relationships. Yes. And also, understand that kids, when they're with their friends, there's an embarrassment to perform, to be dramatic, to be emo, especially when the parents were there. So did the parents being there affect your comfort level, your performance? Were you kind of awkward that your parents were there?
I don't really care, but they were kind of loud, so.
They were loud.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm gonna stay clean, gonna set goals, and I'm gonna work out.
It's a good place to start. All right, see you guys. See you, man.
Do you have something you would like to add? Let me get really close and make it awkward. Hold on.
No.
Oh, but
There was like a good part when we were filming. So basically, I don't think it was shown, but there was a part where we jumped over the fence, and so Coop decides to jump over the fence. That's Stephanie's kid, and he goes like head first, right over. So he like breaks his bag and everything, and everyone's just like sitting there laughing. I kind of felt bad, but it was funny.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
It was shot here at Live on Elgin, and it was the old man, or not old man, sorry, the man and the young man, because I'm getting to the age now where old man is me. It was God. And the dialogue was crafted in such a way where it was, could be perceived as a breakup, because he's breaking up with one person or humanity.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's sorry for something these days.
And I'm not a religious person, but I think it's an interesting character that if they made man in their image, then they would have the same emotions of regret and remorse for doing what they did.
What do you see? Do you see yourself in me?
I see a lonely man.
He is just reliving his grief. He's creating this so he can deal with what he's lost. But that's absolutely accurate as well. They're both accurate. Everything is accurate. Thanks for paying attention to that. I mean, I know a lot of people just breeze through a lot of films and never consider the writing and the thought that goes behind the words. But there is a lot of thought that go behind the carefully crafted words. But thank you so much.
Where do you come up with these themes? What spurs you to write these things?
When I close my
They're
eyes,
phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. When I close my eyes at night, I think of really dark emo stuff. And it's okay to be dark. It's okay to be dark because as long as it doesn't intrude on your life, and if it doesn't take over your life, it's okay to have these dark feelings. And if you have an avenue for which to express those feelings, I think it's pretty healthy, like art. And let no one shame you for being dark and creative. Absolutely not. And own it and never apologize for your art.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Oh, stop it. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Get off my stage.
Okay.
The whole thing behind this story is, to laugh about, the way that how people know each other. That people don't care about anything apart from money and how people look, and it's very funny film, but on the other hand, it's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad reality.
It's true because both characters were after something superficial, something shallow.
Okay. Did I lie a little? Sure. But so did you. So we're even.
I did not lie.
I'm just looking for true love.
Yeah, in the passenger seat of a Rolls Royce. I bet you drive a Honda.
See, you were only interested in me because you thought I was rich.
Yeah. So they kind of deserved each other at the end.
The weather was so cold, and they told me, listen, I know you are from Israel, but it's a little bit different in Canada, and I would love to come to live in Canada for a few months, just to experience the cold.
Yeah. We got 2 seasons here. We got winter and construction. So our winter here is 6 months, and it's like snow and wet and cold, and it's miserable, and everyone wants to die. Right, Ottawa?
Well, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to screen. This is an amazing event you've put on, and I'm sure I speak for all filmmakers when we really say how much we appreciate what you've done for the community.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's nothing without the filmmakers. I mean, we're all blowing smoke up. I'm gonna blow smoke up your ass. I've known you for a long time, and you're really getting one of the purest. So, did you shoot this on digital?
Yes, we did.
You did.
Yeah.
But normally you shoot on film.
Yeah, I like to shoot on film when I can. Yeah, we both do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 8 or 16.
Well, 8 usually, but
Oh,
16 if we can.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I guess I'm okay.
What, like, as you said before, don't apologize for your art,
Yeah.
right? So just go out
Yeah.
there and just, like, do your thing and, like, yeah, that's what's the most important thing.
And you do some creative things. So you wrote this.
Yes.
I'm gonna get closer. How's it? Sorry, hold on a second. To write something so profoundly introspective, you have to understand it profoundly.
Yes.
Is it something you
Yes.
experienced?
Yes, I live with generalized anxiety disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder.
Then I'll pull the camera further.
So I've been wanting to write a film like this for a decade. So thankfully my friend Dennis has made it happen. So I wrote it in a car ride, actually, on my way to see my in-laws. So it was just inspired, and like I said before, when I write, it just comes to me. It just comes right through me. I don't feel like I'm the writer. I just feel like I'm a conduit or conduit to the art, and that's how I always feel when I write.
Don't tell her about me. She'll think you're crazy. Get it? Crazy. Then she'll definitely not ever want to be with you.
I love it. I think a lot of people can relate to that film because we all have the imposter syndrome. Where we
Yes.
question ourselves. Yes.
Yes.
I go through the imposter all
I
the
feel
time.
like that all the time.
Absolutely. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah,
Like I'm
me
talking
too.
to you and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to find out I'm a fraud. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We have no idea what we're doing. We're just going through it one step at a time.
Yes.
Saying, what? And it was layered upon layered of conversations and quick cuts.
Yeah.
So you would hear the voice of Julianne
Yeah.
or whoever it was before they actually spoke. Why was that edit choice taken?
Well, in order to kind of emulate what's going on through the male character's mind, who is in a state of distress, we just kind of like together came up with the idea of editing it in such a ways to try to visually represent what was going on in his head, including the audio, with the double layers of audio.
To be the most knowledgeable in the room, otherwise it is intolerable.
Otherwise, it is very intolerable.
What are you thinking? Telling her this is not a good idea.
And
Absolutely.
it doesn't have to be gendered.
My
That
inner
is the
voice
idea.
sounds like Delaney. So I'm just
That's awesome.
right? Isn't it?
My inner voice sounds like Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Any other questions?
That was the idea. It's like it's distorted. It can be anybody in your head. It doesn't have to be you all the time. And is it you? It could be you. It could not be you. I really wanted to play with gender because we often think of mental health as something that is associated maybe with women more than men, or men aren't allowed to be mentally ill or have a mental health issue or be emotional. And so I wanted the voiceover to be a female so that it was inside his head, but he's not so I wanted to play with that a little bit.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
that's very important because all genders go through stuff. And
Everybody does.
we can talk about this.
Yes,
for like an
and we
hour.
should. We should.
Conversations. We need to have conversations about this, and that's why films are so important because they force us to examine issues, serious issues, and we do have conversations about it. So please keep making substantial film.
About what?
To feel things, to experience life in an ordinary way as a normal person.
Okay, so
Just
Thank
please.
you for creating this space. Thank you
Oh.
so much.
Oh my
This
God.
is really needed.
Yes,
Today,
absolutely.
especially
Today,
needed.
and it's yeah.
Thank you
next
for creating
month.
the space.
But this is not over because we don't have to be alone. There's comfort in the company of other people, and we could come out here every month and twice a month because we have socials as well. We have socials where we get together at a pub and just drink and talk. That's it. That's all we need, just to feel less alone. Because I make films and I make these events because I feel alone, because I'm alone. That's the truth. And it's not because I'm alone that anyone can fill that void. This is a profound loneliness, but we don't have to be alone when we create these wonderful events and feel together. So that's why it's important to continue these, and that's why it's important for you to make films. Make films. Dennis, make films. Next month, I expect you. Next month.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the confidence, the vote of confidence.
what's so different about the way you feel?
Well, I guess that for me, an emotion is all encompassing, like being submerged in water.
Some of the lines really said what was going on, like how can you love me looking like this? So it was, maybe everyone can relate to it. We always feel like we're getting older, fat, ugly, wrinkly, and we have insecurities.
Do you love me? Like, love me? What? Just answer the question. Do you love me?
I think it's choosing beyond, you know, when you connect with the soul, it's beyond the look, and you can really choose what makes you connect with the soul, with the person, and it's way beyond. We are way more than the body. We're way more from the wrinkles.
How can I ever expect you to love me looking like this?
Everything that is outside, it's all about the purpose from the inside and how we go with it. So yes, we change, we grow up with all the outside, but how about the inside, you know? So I think she chose beyond that.
The Vicon is ready for you too.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, the package symbolizes change. Maybe.
Exactly. It's a big change that you don't know where it comes from. It just grab you by the moment in life, and you need to deal with that. And it's a change. And for all of us, the package can be small, can be big, but it grabs you in a moment of life where you don't expect it, you know?
Moran, I got a question for you. What was your favorite part of making this film?
I think the whole thing. I think the expression of it. I think that everybody brought their best part to make this whole thing happen. So to see the best of everyone, for me, it's very inspiring. As a director, you know, I'm looking for the best of everybody, but something about the whole thing that I must say, Ariel did an amazing job of bringing us together. It really felt on the set, it really felt during this, and we had a lot of intense conditions, and the people made it happen. And for me, it was the biggest thing. And to see from, it's always emotional, to see from the paper, from the raw, from the words, to bring it to life, and how everybody connects to it in their own life, in their own way, in their own moment.
And I think that's powerful filmmaking. That makes you reflect on the human condition, and you did that I hope you make more films.
We're actually working on it.
So what's the meaning behind your film?
There was no meaning.
What? But it was like, okay, where did you film it though?
In Ottawa.
Oh my God, you're not giving me anything to work with.
So the district, I was just kidding.
I know.
The district scenes were filmed in between Pinecrest Trail and Woodruff. It's like, Petro was just like, I have this great place where poor people can live. She didn't say that, but that's what it meant. So I literally just think of stuff and put it on paper.
Have anything to say? This is nothing to the hundreds you made suffer.
Go! Let's give them the courage to speak!
Do you sometimes think of a location first and then come up with an idea?
No. So I'm like, when I knew the theme and I was thinking more like Joan of Arc, and I was at a cafe with my boyfriend and we're just like, what about this idea? What about that idea? What about this idea? And then I'm like, okay, I got it here, James. And he's like, no. James doubts me, and I'm like, we can do this. All the costumes I made in a week. I made the leather vest, the belts, the dresses.
What was your favorite part?
The people, because I have these grandiose ideas of like, so my budget's like $0. I invested, actually $60 was given to the production, so I guess our budget was $60. And I'm like, fireworks and horses and spears and Yeah. So it's really the people who believe in my visions, the hands-on and the time donated and everything that people do that really make a world of difference, because I could play all the characters myself and write it and attempt to film it and it'll just look really ridiculous.
How are you feeling?
I edited the first scene, but I was she
I
did
did.
a lot of the editing this time. The first film, like last Kino, I edited that one, but this time she did most of it.
She doesn't even need you at this
I know.
point.
No,
Oh,
please,
actually,
no.
there's a story there. You
No.
want to know? No, okay.
So all of the filming that was good was James, and then I was like, it's missing something, bring me your camera. Everything that was blurry,
But that's something you could work on.
I never filmed before. And there were so many buttons. And the viewfinder is so tiny, and I'm like,
Yeah.
looks good.
Oh no. But it's easy. We learn gradually. We don't unlearn things.
We
Baby
learned to
steps.
not let Jesse use the camera. Yes.
No. Don't please.
No, it's a learning process. You'll get better.
Grab the camera and try.
Make a
It's funny to
mistake.
laugh at yourself, right?
It's true. I'm at the age where I need reading glasses to see the LCD screen. Maybe you're old.
No, I got James. He's way better. And I can't act and direct and write and edit, and it's too much.
That's true.
I only have like 30 days.
30 days?
Well, that's what you give us.
Really? Oh, okay. To write such a profound, introspective film like that, it has to come from a personal place.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just kidding. So I actually did a journey up north. So I did travel across Canada, and I did move up north for love. And I also ran the daycare. So I'd hear all these stories from all different women, and there was about probably 30 women who were just kind of like, they felt like they didn't have a choice and they just stay in these bad situations. So that's kind of where the story comes from. It comes from a personal experience, but it also comes from the stories that surrounded the women of the North.
I was down in Manitoba, and I kind of heard some of these stories, and it kind of prepped me for the film that I was going into. So, you know, you kind of draw on what you hear and the stories that people tell you. And no, I was definitely, it definitely drew from a particular person that I heard a story about. Yeah.
It's early so that we could have time to enjoy the drive and explore all that Canada had to offer.
The music, the singing, the voice, it is you.
Yes.
And this is not your first time making a film or singing or acting.
No, it's not, no. Sorry, I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, I will ask you questions. There is a lot of people here, but it's only going to get bigger, and you need to get braver because, you know, it's your turn, it's our turn.
Right.
We shouldn't care what people think.
Right.
You know when you get nervous, you used to say, imagine everyone naked.
No, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Mario? No.
Really?
So you're recording artist. You've done a lot of music, vocal. You compose your music, don't you?
Yes. I've been composing music since I was like 12. And I think I did this song with Lisa when I was like, what, 14 or 15? So it was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
I was like 14 or 15, and like, I just remember like Lisa kind of like explaining like the message and like the story behind this song, and I was like 15. I was like talking about moving across the country. Like, I'm like
yeah, you know, you can relate to it.
Yeah, 15, I really know.
Yeah.
No, at 15, I was like, the only thing I really knew was, oh my God, like my crush doesn't like me back. Like, what am I gonna do? But so my idea on what kind of like made the whole song for me was thinking about like where did the love go, and that is the title that I chose for the song. Like, where did our love go? Because you know you can have like a really good relationship with a person at the beginning, and then at the end like this person can become a stranger. You know what I mean? Like you can lose the love.
Wow.
So where did the love go?
15.
15. Come on.
Thank you.
So do I love you, or do I let you go? Love back and forth, that's how it goes. Where did the love go? 'Cause maybe it
you're so good at words. Come on, you're so good at speaking.
Thank you. That's so reassuring. Thank you.
We filmed together a long time ago in your
In the house.
in your house, and you still have a lot of cats.
Of course.
Cats.
Of course.
There was a lot of cats, and it was the best because cats
Yeah.
are awesome.
That was the first, like, some of the first time I knew you, and oh my god, I have to say I was scared. Again, I was like, this little girl, this guy comes to my house, this guy's with a bat, like, running around screaming in my house. I was
It
like,
wasn't
what's-
my film.
No, it
I was
wasn't.
just
I was like,
filming.
this guy's running around my house with a bat. I was like, what's going on? And, like, it was, like, in my room. I remember it being in my room, but I remember seeing the film. It was a really great film, but yeah.
3 days of filming, but obviously the post sound takes quite a bit, right? Because every little detail, like,
Yeah.
even if you heard the birds chip or
Yeah.
anything, was all like done.
I noticed
in
that
post,
a lot
so-
of work was done.
And you can actually hear the sound really well when
Yeah.
it's played live. I'm like, oh wow, this sounds really
Well,
good.
the sound here at this venue is unforgiving. Last month I did a film, and I was lazy. When I was editing, I had no like earphones on, and I could hear actually in the background me saying action and cut. So for this film, I was not lazy because I know the sound here is so good. So yeah, it's really good.
All this change, I didn't notice a major one taking place right under my nose.
Was there a road trip involved?
Well, we went to Leonard County.
We drove around.
We drove around quite a bit because there was a lot of driving
Oh,
in this
man.
movie because we drove across Canada, and we were lucky that we had some friends who were going out west already, so we kind
Yeah.
of got them to film the footage for us.
I was driving out Manitoba for the reunion.
Yes.
Yeah, so the reunion.
So the reunion in Manitoba.
Yeah,
part
some
was
of the
there.
filming was Manitoba.
Yeah.
It is such a powerful film. Is it going to be in other festivals? Is it in the circuit right now?
Well, we've already done like 40 festivals, but it was during COVID, so we couldn't go to any of them.
Oh, yeah.
But we have won over like 15 awards, so
Wow.
that's really great.
Yes. Well, when you said you were going to screen it here, it meant a lot to me because
Yeah.
it means a lot to me that you're here and you're supporting this because
Yeah,
Lisa.
Ottawa film community is really important to me. So
Yes, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa is legendary. People who don't know Lisa Muser, she's one of the first indie filmmakers in Ottawa. They're just
yeah, when Ottawa first started, I was the only female filmmaker, and now it's really great to see like a massive group and other females like making movies. I'm like, this is amazing. We have such a big group because we started off with 5 people, and I used to be the only one. I started
Yeah.
off with IFCO, like making movies out of film,
Yeah.
which IFCO is amazing. Yeah, it'll go. There we go. Right? We started off with IFCO, and then like Saw Gallery, and it's just amazing how far like we've grown. I mean, I love Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah.
But I think like why I came back to Ottawa was this aspect of it, the community, the Ottawa filmmaking, because like I just miss like making movies with my friends because it's fun too, right? And you get to be creative.
Yeah. And we're awesome.
And we're awesome.
You're awesome.
So yeah, we're very lucky that we had so many amazing people in the
Yeah.
post-production because, as you know, there's no dialogue in it. But also amazing actors to be able to do a film without any dialogue. You really have to feel the emotion. So like, give us a break.
Yeah.
What do I do? I run so hard like a wolf on a hunt.
I think it's important to get together as a director with your actors before you shoot and even like kind of like go through the characters because I know as a talent agent too, like we talk about the process so much, right? So you want to be able to create their feelings and their emotions the way that you felt when you wrote that story, right? And the only way that you can do that is kind of like talk to your actors, right?
Yes.
Great.
We have a lot of fun making those little videos for the theme.
We do.
Yeah.
We have trouble keeping them short. We keep striving for about 15 seconds. And we end up with that.
A minute every time, over
a minute every time.
Light.
As you said before, the idea of the theme is to not restrict people.
No, it's meant to be, they're really, really loose interpretations, and we figure something contrasting just to trigger some kind of thought that inspires something else. Where you end up may not have anything to do with where you started, but that's okay. It's the inspiration and then getting to an end result that matters.
Lady.
Thank you all for coming out. This has just been, an amazing night. Thank you.
Because I make everything cool, baby. Yeah. You're welcome.